Welcome to our 1:30 Zoom into Career session. We are very fortunate to have the wonderful Walmart team here today to share with you information about their organization, who they really are, kind of their background, as well as what it's going to be like to work for Walmart. And they'll also talk about open positions and how to apply. Students, after they have conducted their presentation, I will go to the Q&A box and I will share questions that you have for the Walmart team. So please do continue to type in those questions throughout the session, and then we will address those questions at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the Walmart team, and you all can go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Tracy Harris, and I am a Market Human Resource Manager for Walmart Market 145, which is the greater Memphis area. I've been with the company a little less than a year, and I am truly having a great time. I enjoy working for Walmart. I believe it was one of the best decisions of my life. I will tell you this, my computer is acting crazy, so I may just shut it down because it won't let me do anything with this PowerPoint. Sean, you guys, as you see, I don't have any control over it. But welcome. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to interacting with you guys today. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Hi, my name is Kathy Rowland. I'm the market manager here in Market 145. I have 7 stores in Memphis and 1 in Arkansas. Been with the company for 37 years.
There we go.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Sean Leggett, Market District Manager here in Southern Memphis and Northern Mississippi. I've been with the company 26 years and really looking forward to participating today so everyone can kind of get a better understanding of the company and what we're looking for, and looking forward to the questions as well. So really appreciate everyone having us.
All righty, so we're gonna kind of go ahead and get started. So why should you work for Walmart? And so I'm kind of gonna try to wing this because, like I said, the PowerPoint is acting up. Something's wrong with my computer right now. Walmart is the #1 retailer in America. We operate over 4,000 stores in 55 countries under several different umbrellas. And so we have the capacity, we have a great capacity to do some probably unconventional or some untraditional hiring that many of our competitors don't have. And so Walmart has a great culture. They're a great culture to work for. They believe in respect for the individual. The customer is first, and respect for the individual. And so we're looking for a few great people to come and join us. We have great benefits. One of the best benefits that I think that Walmart has outside of the medical, the dental, the 401k, and all those things is the educational program through Guild. And it's $1 a day. $1 a day, you can get a bachelor's degree. You know, just that in itself alone is inexpensive because it's costing us thousands and thousands of dollars just to get a degree at in some other area. So that's one of the things that I think is a great call out for Walmart. Another benefit that Walmart offers is the prenatal or the maternity leave. So a pregnant woman can get up to 16 weeks off, and the spouse or the husband or the father can get up to 6 weeks off, all paid at 100%. And so those are some great options that many companies don't offer, but it's one of the great benefits that Walmart offers. So I don't know if Kathy and Sean want to jump in and. Okay. So some of the positions that we're looking to hire for is leadership positions, management, whether it be an hourly supervisor, assistant manager, co-manager, coach, team lead, store manager, emerging store manager. So there's a lot of leadership opportunities available within the company, not just locally, but you know, like throughout the company. So whether it be here in Tennessee or Mississippi or Arkansas or Atlanta, Georgia, Ohio, wherever you're looking to go, Walmart has plenty of positions most times available, because we're always growing our associates, giving them opportunity to grow, giving them opportunity to try new things, to do new things. We spend a lot of time in training and developing our associates. We have an extensive training program. Once you come on, you go through an extensive training program, so you're not just like left out there alone on an island. You'll be partnered with a mentor, someone to help guide you through the process, someone to be there for you to ask your questions. Because one thing about Walmart, it's a common joke around the city, is that we have our own language, and it's Walmart does have their own language. We use a lot of acronyms, and so sometimes that can be the difference between working for Walmart and working for a different company. So we're really big on the educational piece and providing the tools that you need to be successful. Does anyone have any questions?
All right, students, does anyone have any questions at this point in the presentation? Any questions at all? You could type those in the Q&A box, and I will read those to our guests. I have a question for you all, actually. So can you kind of walk us through the typical career path? I know a lot of students right now, they're uncertain about what they're going to be doing after graduation. And so for those students who get that first job opportunity with Walmart, can you kind of walk us through the typical career path? What usually happens? What does that first job look like? Do they stay within the company? Where do they go within the company? Can you just kind of walk us through that timeline and kind of what that career path might look like?
Kathy, when you guys take that, you guys have been with the company for a long time.
Yeah, I'll take it. So what this, that's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. Typically, our college students would come on board in a salaried manager level position as an assistant manager, or in some kind of linear capacity. And then from that point, really the speed of progression upon which you would progress is really up to the individual. It's up to how quickly that the person is able to grasp the skills of the job and able to accelerate their leadership to be prepared for the next level. And secondly, I would say that it's really up to your willingness on, where you're willing to relocate, if you're willing to relocate, on how quickly that you can move up within the company as well. As Tracy said, I mean, we've got stores all across the globe, and particularly concentrated in the 50 U.S. states. And there's opportunities across the board in all of those states. So your willingness to be able to be flexible and relocate to where jobs may present themselves, and your ability to really grasp the skill set of the job and apply that really will dictate how quickly you would move up. Typically, the linear movement for an assistant manager, the next position they would move into would be what we would call a co-manager or store lead. And that person is basically the second in command to the store manager. And then beyond that, the next position would be a store manager, where you would have full control of your own facility. And then from that point, it moves into a district manager type level, where that person will be responsible for multiple facilities within a given area. So that would be the typical linear progression of someone coming on board as an assistant manager in one of the stores.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. We have a question about internships. Do you all offer internships? And if so, kind of what do those look like? What areas are they in? I mean, we have a lot of IT students that are interested in getting some IT experience. Can you walk us through that program as well?
I can share just a little bit about that. Typically, our IT internships take place in Bentonville, Arkansas, out of that office, out of the main office. But when we do the internships here locally, they come on as a assistant manager in training. I think that's the right. Is that the right position, you guys? Assistant manager in training, and it's usually for a person who is either in their junior year going into their senior year or their senior year coming out. And so we have a program that we're going to try to launch in the fall, to be exact. We weren't able to do it this summer because of the COVID-19, of course, but we're trying to launch it in the fall. That is something that we do not only in this area, but in other areas throughout Tennessee and throughout other Walmart stores. So typically our goal is, if I'm not correct, Sean, you guys correct me, after the internship is up, we want to be able to place you in some form of leadership position, making a salary. And so that's the goal. So you come on as an hourly supervisor, and it's pretty decent. I mean, the pay is pretty decent for an intern, and you're working towards becoming a salary member of management.
Yeah, Tracy's right. I mean, I was an intern myself, actually. So I came on, I was already working for Walmart kind of through high school. And upon my last year of college, I came on board as an intern through my senior year of college as well. It's a really good opportunity. I think we have a training program that, you know, is 4 weeks long to kind of prepare you for that job. But being an intern, number one, it's a paid internship, and number two, we're able to stretch that training and give you a little bit more in-depth training in certain areas across the time frame of your senior year, so that once you're completed and you move into a salaried role, I feel like those students in some cases are much better prepared because they have a lot more time to immerse themselves in different areas of the store to have a better understanding.
So when we talk about progression and opportunity, you know, Sean is a great example of someone who came through an internship. I'm a great example of someone who was hired. I just started with the company in June of 2019, and in December of 2019, I was promoted to a market level position or a district level position. So the progression is there. It's about how well you perform and, you know, how much, you know, you want to put into it and how fast you want to grow. And like you said, if you're willing to relocate and to move around, could even be faster depending upon your skill set.
Okay, that's great. We have a few questions here. The first is, what college experiences do you look for in a new hire? So what are you looking for on a college student's resume that stands out to you that makes that candidate someone that you really want to interview and possibly bring on as an employee?
Well, that would depend on what position we're looking for. Myself personally, if I'm looking for management leadership, I would like to see some business type courses, but it's not limited to that because we have several individuals who were in nursing school or were lawyers or, you know, in those type of professions. So we don't really limit what, you know, the educational piece should be as far as what degree. We just look for someone who has the experience or the willingness or the knowledge to want to come on and be a part of our team. But it is great to have some specialty in certain positions, though.
Perfect. And here's another question. Once someone lands that interview, what should they be focusing on? How can you suggest to prepare them to do well in that interview? I know a lot of companies use behavioral-based interview questions. What are some tips that you have for candidates who nail that interview with Walmart?
I can take that one if you want me to, Tracy. Yeah, so we really look kind of for the STAR method. Really looking for a you know, something that happened. So whatever behavioral, whether it's judgment or anything like that, we would look for what happened and then kind of wind it up at the end. What happened? What'd you do? What did you learn from it? And then going through that piece of that interview process from that STAR method. A lot of times that we ask that, you know, if they just kind of think about the STAR method and look at that piece of the business, then they'll be able to answer any question. It doesn't have to be around the Walmart. If you've never worked for Walmart, it's just whatever you've worked for, whatever area or what you've done in the past. And I think everybody can kind of come up with a judgment call or things that have happened to them in the past. Sean or Tracy?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. The STAR method is probably the most used method that we do for interview, and they are situational behavioral based questions. And like she said, it doesn't have to be around Walmart, because if you're interviewing for Walmart, you're not going to have a Walmart experience. So you can just take your life experiences and use those in the scenarios that are given during the interview process.
Okay, great. And looks like we have a follow-up question from an attendee. What have you seen to be the interview questions that most students tend to struggle with when you're interviewing students for either internships or those entry-level positions? What are some stumbling blocks that you see occurring on a pretty frequent basis?
I'll start with that one. I'll tell you, one of the things that I probably see more often than most is that people interviewing often just don't answer the question. You know, sometimes people will start to answer the question and really get off on a tangent that doesn't really fulfill the needs of the question. So I would just really encourage everyone as you're interviewing to really, you know, really listen to what the panel is asking you to describe. Then think about, you know, a situation that may have happened to you that you've experienced that illustrates that, and then just really walk them through what the situation was, you know, what you had to do, how you approached it, and what the result was. That's one common mistake that I really find a lot is that people just often don't answer what the question is. And I think a lot of times we really want to jump in really quickly and start to answer it. And as a panelist, we're really good if you wanted to, you know, to take just a few seconds or a minute to think about the answer before you start to speak. I think that'll really help everyone be a little bit more prepared to make sure that they're really answering and listening to the full question.
That's a great answer. We have another question. Where do you post your jobs outside of the Walmart website? Do you utilize student resources such as Handshake, Simplicity, Indeed? Where are you all posting your positions?
We have just become part of the Memphis area has just become a part of the Handshake. So we're still in the process of downloading our resume, our apps to that site. So we will be using Handshake, but we use LinkedIn a lot of the times.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we use Indeed anymore or any other outlet, but I know that we use LinkedIn quite a bit.
Okay, great. Students, any additional questions? We have about a few minutes left before we close out. For our Walmart team, what other words of wisdom or advice do you have for our students right now, especially our seniors who are on the call, who are a bit scared about what's happening right now, especially in terms of the job market? Advice, words of wisdom for them.
You know what, I would just say, even though we have to keep the pandemic in the forefront of our minds, but don't sell yourself short and don't give up on your dreams. You know, make sure that you're ready. Take this time to study. Make sure that, you know, whatever company that you're applying for, you interview for, study that company. Get to know that company. Get to know, you know, what they do. What do they do in the community? You know, what's their sustainability? You know, what are their profits? You know, study that company so that you have a well-rounded answer. You know, to help you better understand the questioning in the interview process. But take this time and just study interviewing, if I can say that, you know, so that when you are in an interview process, that you're more relaxed, you're more calm, you're able to think things through, and just, you know, study. I just say study the interview process.
Yeah, the last one thing I would say, I think that's one of the great things about Walmart is that, as you can see through the COVID process, we're obviously considered an essential business, so we're still full on. All employees are working. We've not furloughed anyone. We're actually have hired quite a number of individuals across the country. And I know we just announced we're hiring 50,000 more. So, the great thing about Walmart is that if the economy is doing well, then Walmart does well. If the economy is in a recession, then Walmart does well also. So that stability, I think, is really, really important it was for me as a career choice. And I think that's one thing that can really give people comfort in their job, knowing that, kind of as things kind of go through, ebbs and flows in the economic cycle, that, we've got a strong business model that's sustainable, and that, employment will continue throughout those peaks and valleys. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, and I'll just add to the end of that. And I've been with the company for 37 years, and I came on. I was an associate through college, and then went into the management program. But I think the greatest thing that I think about Walmart is, if you don't want to be in the field or you want to change something, you can change in Walmart. You can change in any career, anything you want to do, and you never have to leave the company. Prime example, I was in HR for 10 years and operations for over 20 years. And I never had to leave that company. So all the things that Walmart has offered, whether it be medical or the different benefits that Walmart has had to offer, I never had to give that up. I just continued on in just a different field. And a home office, I mean, it just depends on where you want to work. I mean, we've got different places in New York or the Carolinas or in California in the IT business, anything that you want. You never have to kind of leave Walmart. You can just do whatever you want. So I think that's the biggest thing with Walmart, is that you can continue to work with a great company, and you never have to go anywhere, and you can change careers. It's just whatever path you want to take in life.
Yeah, you would be amazed at the many different positions that Walmart has to offer. And a word of advice, just like Sean mentioned, sustainability is what you want to look for when you're coming out of school. When you come out of college, you're thinking about, if you have them, student loans. Now you're an adult. Your family, your parents are saying, okay, now you're an adult. You finish school, you're an adult, and so you've got all these things that you're looking at. And so keep in the forefront of your mind. You want to look at a company's sustainability. And like it was said prior, Walmart isn't going anywhere. Even when the economy is doing bad, Walmart is there. When they're doing good, Walmart is there. So don't limit yourselves to thinking that it's just retail, because, we do have health and wellness, so we need doctors. We have legal departments, so we need lawyers. We have IT, so we need IT individuals. So it's not just focused on retail, but there's a wide conglomerate of positions within the Walmart world.
That is a wonderful way to end your session. There's so many opportunities with Walmart that I don't think a lot of our students realize. So we are so grateful for you all for taking your time today to speak with our students. Students, this session has been recorded, and they will all be posted on all of our career services websites. And so please do encourage your peers to view these sessions, especially this session, because there's a lot of great opportunities with Walmart. As also, please, if you want to reach out to any of the panelists today, reach out to your respective career services professionals, and we'll be able to connect you with our amazing panelists today. Thank you all so much, Walmart team. You did a great job. We truly appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, and students, get ready. Our 2 o'clock session will be coming up in a moment.